Hello everyone, welcome to another math lesson with Miss Harwood. We're going to start our lesson with a quick game. I'm going to show you different pictures with 10 frames on them. I want you to yell out how many circles are in the 10 frame before I say the answer. Let's practice with our first slide. 2. Did you yell out 2? If you look at the screen, there's 1, 2 circles. Let's practice with one more. 5. The answer is 5. Now, let's really play our game. Get ready. Here we go. 0. 4. 9. 5. 1. 7. 3. 6. 10. 8. 5. 1. 8. 6. 0. 9. 3. 10. 7. 4. 9. 2. Congratulations! You completed the game. You did a wonderful job playing along in our game. This week, we've been practicing our addition skills to keep our brains sharp. We're going to continue our addition practicing today, but we're going to focus on only adding numbers to 10. Our learning target, specifically, is I can find 2 numbers that make 10. When we find 2 numbers today, we will be adding or putting together those numbers to make 10. If you remember from one of our lessons before, we made a rainbow of 10 and found out that there were 11 different ways to make the number 10. We're going to explore those different ways today using 10 frames. This is what a 10 frame looks like. There are 10 squares in this frame. Using those squares, we're going to find 2 numbers that make 10. Right now, for our lesson though, you don't need any materials. So let's get started.
We will use the I do, we do, you do lesson today. You can see that I have my making 10 frame right here and my counters in a cup. To practice finding the numbers that make 10, I'm going to shake up my cup and gently toss my counters onto my paper. Once all the counters have stopped on the paper, I'm going to put all of my yellow counters together, starting at the top of my 10 frame. Then I'm going to put all of my red counters together after my yellow counters. Then I will count up all my yellow counters and write the number here. After that, I count up all my red counters and write the number here. Once I have my two numbers down here, I can finish writing my number sentence below using the numbers I got from the counters. Let's start with me showing you two problems with this activity. First, I need to roll the counters gently. Now that I have rolled out all of my counters, I need to first put all of my yellow counters together. I can see that I have 4. I know in a snap that these many counters equals 4. Next, I need to move all of my red counters together onto the 10 frame. Did you see how I started by putting the red counters right next to the yellow counter box? This is to make sure that all of my counters are together and that there's no empty spaces. Then, after all my red counters have been moved to the 10 frame, I'm going to count up the amount of red counters I have. I know I had 4 yellow, so I'm going to do 4 plus because we're adding up numbers to make 10. Let me count my red counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to write 6 because that's my second number. That's how many red counters there are. Lastly, I need to finish writing my whole number sentence. I know that this 10 frame makes 10, so I'm going to write equals 10. My whole number sentence now is 4 plus 6 equals 10. I just found out that 4 and 6 are two numbers that make 10. Now that I've done one on my own, let's do some together. First, we need to roll the counters. Next, we need to move the yellow counters to the 10 frame. How many yellow counters are there? 2. There's 2 yellow counters. Now let's write that number down here. And we're adding, so I'm going to use a plus sign. Then we move all the red counters to the 10 frame. So I'm going to move all the red counters to the 10 frame without counting. Do you know how many red counters there are? Let's see if you were right. I know that there's 5 in this row. So 5, 6, 7, 8. I counted to 8, so I know that there are 8 red counters. Now we finish writing our number sentence. What sign am I going to write here? An equal sign, because we're finding our answer, and we know our answer is 10. Let's read our whole number sentence together. Ready? Go. 2 plus 8 equals 10. Let's do another one. First, we gently roll our coin. Next, we move the yellow counters. How many yellow counters are there? 3. There's 3 yellow counters, so I'm going to write 3. What sign do I write here? Plus or minus? Plus sign. I'm going to write a plus sign because we're adding numbers to make 10. Now we need to put all of our red counters together. How many red counters are there? Let's count. Remember, one row has 5, so we're going to count 5 and then count on. So we have 5, 6, 7. So how many red counters do we have? 7. So our number sentence is going to say 3 plus 7 equals 10. Read it with me. Ready, go. 3 plus 7 equals 10. Let's do another one. If you need to catch up, now's a great time to catch up as I'm putting our counters away. All right, first we gently roll our counters. And then we put our yellow counters on. So let's see. How many yellow counters do we have? Let's count to see if you were right. Remember, each row has 5, so I'm going to count 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 yellow counters. And remember, we're adding, so which sign do we use? Plus sign. We're going to use the plus sign. Now we put our red counters on. How many red counters are there? 3. I can see in a snap that there's 3 red counters, so I'm going to write 3. So far we have 7 plus 3. What do we write next? Equals 10. So our whole number sentence says 7 plus 3 equals 10. Great job! Now it's time for your assignment. It's your turn to try this at home. The materials that you will need are paper with some pre-drawn 10 frames on them, a pencil, and at least 2 different colored crayons. You will need to end up drawing 4 different 10 frames onto your paper. Then you will color in the 10 frame with your markers or crayons, whatever you decide to color with, showing 10 different ways to make 10. Maybe you want to color in the squares orange and gray. So what you can do is you can color in, let's say I want to color in 1, 2 squares orange, and I want to color in the rest gray. I'm going to do a quick coloring to show you. Once you've finished coloring those in, you're going to want to write the number sentence. And the number sentence for this would be 2 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 equals 10, because we know a 10 frame has 10 squares. If you want to color in all the squares on a 10 frame orange, you can do that. You can color in every single square the same color. But what happens when you color in all the squares the same color is you're going to need to write a number sentence that matches the squares that are colored in. So how many squares do I have colored in all the same color? 10. I have 10 orange squares, so I'm going to write the number 10. Do I have another color in this 10 frame? No. So because I don't have a second color, I'm going to write 0 because there isn't another 10 frame that's colored in like a different color. And that is fine. But you still need to make sure that you write your number sentence for it. In that case, it's going to be 10 plus 0 equals 10 because any number plus 0 is itself. 10 plus 0 equals 10. So go ahead and get to work on your assignment. Make sure to take a picture and send it to your teacher so we can see all the different ways that you made 10. See you tomorrow.